Welcome back to the Creature Feature Show. We now have Mr. Rumple Snakes Skin. So again, he was named previously on Chaos TV. As you will remember him, he was a regular appearance for us. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try and feed him live on camera. We've done this before, but I'm hoping he will take this time. So he is only just recently shredded, and I have some of his skin here. So as they grow, they will shred skin, and they just leave this in the enclosure. So with this, I am actually saving up because I have a little 8-year-old girl who is making necklaces with it. So yes, watch his face on the necklace situation. So to feed the snake, I have got a small mouse. It is not live because you can only feed snakes pre-euthanized food. So it has been frozen and it's now defrosted. So it will take him a moment to sense the smell of the mice. So I'm having to brush it against his nose because obviously he is blind. So he has cataracts in both eyes. So he would not be able to sense the mouse as much as possible. So now he has grabbed the mouse, and he will start dislocating his jaw to push the mouse down. So this is a corn snake, and he is a rescue. So he was someone's pet and he wasn't looked after very well. He was very thin, you could feel his ribs when we got him. So we've now rehabilitated him up and he's now thriving very well. So he's around, we estimate 8 to 9 years. We are not 100% sure because the person we got it from wasn't sure themselves, but considering the size of him and how he is, we would recommend about 8 to 9 years. So snakes is actually quite a new thing for me. It's only been about 3.5 years. So I wasn't actually allowed snakes when I was younger, although me and my sister absolutely loved them and we would have wanted them as a pet. I wasn't allowed them because my mum was scared of them. So I then eventually decided, no, actually I'm going to go and get myself a snake. And then it was the food, she wouldn't like it in the freezer, so that would have to stay at somewhere else. And then eventually she came round to it and said, yeah, you can have a snake. And then since then, the snake collection's grown. I think most people are scared because they feel it's slimy. So if you haven't touched a snake before, people will say, it's slimy. It's not slimy, it's dry. So I think that's where the fear actually comes from, is how they perceived the snake to feel before actually touching them. So here he is dislocating his jaw. So obviously it does take a bit of time, but now he's managed to do it, and now he's going to start taking the mouse in. So he'll open one side of his jaw, then he'll open the other side, and eventually he'll use that jaw to push down, use the muscles, and it'll push the food right down. Yeah, it was the first time that I was doing it. It's like most people don't like the idea of it, but then it's actually showing how a snake actually feeds. So people think, oh, it's just going to eat it. It's not. It's actually got to dislocate the jaw, use its muscles to push down, and then when it's in its stomach, the inside of them, it would eat the inside of the mouth, and then it brings out the fur at the other end, which is quite fascinating, just actually seeing how they managed to get the mouse down without using any arms. It's less than 10 minutes. Now that it's started, it will be, yeah, I would say probably about 5 to 10 minutes, if that. Once his jaw's dislocated, it's a lot easier. So these would be originally from America. So they're named a corn snake because they were found in the cornfields in America, keeping down all the rodents that farmers didn't want in their crops. So the jaw goes up to here. That's where the like hinges are on the jawbone. Most of them are pretty friendly. We did do a camera club visit, and Stefan actually got bit by the snake that we took there. It's just random. You could get bitten by all of it anytime. It's the chances you'd have to take with any animals. I quite like the corn snakes because they are placid and they will just sit with you for hours. But also like the milk snakes, they look like Cape coral snakes, which are highly venomous. But milk snakes are like just the same as a corn snake, apart from they got red, black and white stripes. So we're going to let Mr. Rumple Snakes Skin finish his food, and we're going to head over to a couple of songs, and then we'll be back to meet the cats and the guinea pig. So welcome back. We're now going to meet Peppa the guinea pig, who is now working towards his therapy status. So this is Peppa. He is almost a year old, and he was rescued at between 7 and 9 weeks of age. So he is going to be used in all my animal interactions. So he will be a regular visit when we actually take our animals around. So if you are lucky to come and see us, you will be able to meet him. So yeah, so guinea pigs are a popular children's pet because they are placid and they don't take a lot of requirements. You can just put them in a cage and leave them. The thing with guinea pigs and people who look after them don't realise they're solitary animals. So they do better actually with another animal. So previously you used to be able to keep rabbits and guinea pigs together, but that is definitely a no now, because the rabbits can kill guinea pigs. So it's best to have 2 guinea pigs together of the same sex. So that's where Peppa came in. Was a previous lockdown, and bored at home, kids wanted to know what happened when you put 2 guinea pigs together so that they had something they can look after. That didn't last very long, and as soon as the babies were born, we don't want them anymore. So he was a rescue. So he has got history behind him at a very young age, and many guinea pigs will have, because not many people actually look after them correctly. And guinea pigs aren't something that's very handleable. Peppa's okay because he's used to me handling him, but some guinea pigs are very skittish and just refuse from being handled and can bite. Guinea pigs are from Chile, I want to say. It's one of those questions, it's like, hang on, it's somewhere. But guinea pigs are actually a delicacy in where they originate from. So that's where they are from. So if you were to travel to actually see wild guinea pigs, majority of the food menus would have guinea pig on. So with therapy, he would obviously be visiting people with me with the animals, and just doing what he's doing now, so someone can just sit down and stroke him, touch him. He probably would take food from someone. That's the next thing I'm trying to get him used to, is actually taking food. So he's not scared, and he's not because he's not taking food. He's just not sure that the person who's actually given it is going to allow him to actually have the food and not take it away. So he will, so he'll be visiting quite a lot of people. He's already visited some, just trying to get him used to a variety of environments and different people who handle differently, different touches. Although they are social, he does live on his own because he was the only guinea pig the person had left that didn't want. He is in a room with another guinea pig, and hopefully I can now start to introduce them together, so hopefully they can bond and live together. It's a sort of pet that everyone knows, but people don't always have the chance to actually be close to a pet that maybe their friends have got, or that they know that parents have had over time. And obviously being small and fluffy, so not as small as a hamster that it might be too hard to handle, but they are small enough and they don't have the powerful kick of a rabbit. I've had several. So when we were smaller, I had a rabbit and my sister had a guinea pig, and then I had a guinea pig, and then my sister has also got guinea pigs currently. So yeah, we've always had some sort of rodent in our family. So the diet for these is fruit, vegetables, a lot of hay. That's one thing that many people don't give, is only give a little handful of hay. The more hay the better. And pellets. You can get cereal, guinea pigs, what they call guinea pig cereal, that's got different types of flakes in. But the majority I would feed is just hay and vegetables, because they get enough nutrients from the hay than needing to have any other food. It's usually 5 to 7 years, but that obviously depends on the diet, the conditions they're brought up in. They can, it has been known that they have lived longer. So this is Star. He has been on Chaos TV previously with his brother and sister. So what I've got here is some cat enrichment. So most people give their dogs loads of toys, so that enriches them, they take them for walks. But with cats it's more difficult. So this is a specially made cat activity. So he has to work to get his treats. And he does, and that's one of the things that you can do with cats. It doesn't have to be bought. You can just go out and you can make one, you can make an activity. And now he's actually got to work for his food. So I've just put some treat biscuits in here, and which he absolutely loves. You can put bits of chicken, ham, it can be any really good quality food, not just a bit of cat food that he would have on every day. So the different tasks we've got little holes that he has to put his tongue in to get the treats out, which are too small to actually use his feet. We've got some sliders that he can use his feet and to push across. We've got some individual poles that again he has to move his feet in and out, and then we've got some bowls that he has to put his feet in and hook out the food. I try to give some enrichment every day, whether it's different ways of feeding different bowls. We tend to alternate what we're actually going to do. So enrichment is not just about pets, but they use it a lot in zoos as well. So they use it to build different things for the animals. So he's scented some biscuits in the poles, and he has to push them along until he can actually get his nose down to actually pick up the treats. So it's either he has to take it to the end, or he can try and get it in the middle. So this one he's sliding it from end to end, hoping that he will get his reward. So this is a positive reinforcement, so that after successfully doing what he needs to do, he will get his reward. So if he has, for instance, if there was a behavioural issue, you could do enrichment, and then you would reward for having that positive behaviour that you wanted. It's important so you can remove negative behaviours, but also you need to keep enforcing the positive stuff within the animal. But also, this can be used for animals that are on diets. So you're limiting the food. They have to work for the food that they want. So normally he wouldn't have as many biscuits as this, but because he's actually working, he's using energy, he's gaining stuff, he's able to have more treats to enforce that behaviour that we want. So that's it from meeting Peppa and Star for this time, and we'll be back next week with some more of the Creature Feature show.